Alright, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Tamamo Cross, Zenno Rob Roy in terms of the support cards, as well as Super Creek and Rice Shower Halloween in terms of the horses. Lastly, we also talk about Mihono Bourbon support card, which is not really a banner pull, but it's a more important card than all of the banners. I'm not even joking. Alright, so I'll just explain what all of these characters do first. Alright, let's start off with the Super Creek Halloween. Super Creek Halloween is a bit of a trick character because her unique. The condition is that it activates near the last street, right? Or on the last street. So basically what you want to do with this horse is actually use her on the shorter distances. On the shorter distances, it tends to be correct that this horse can speed and excel carry over on the shorter distances. It's not easy, of course. Her short and mild is G, but on the shorter distances, this horse is significantly better than on the medium and long. On the medium and long, her unique won't really activate at the timing that you hope it will activate. The track conditions never really are good for this kind of unique over here. So on the shorter distances, right, this horse actually is very, very significant. You actually see her quite a bit if people force her in there, because she's actually very, very good at getting that let's say that Resplendent Red Ace to activate, because that's the equivalent, right? This horse has a very simple condition. It's actually very easy to activate, and all it requires is something similar to a Resplendent Red Ace, and then it gives you the value of a Resplendent Red Ace. So that is a very, very powerful acceleration tool and speed tool to make sure you fight for the front really, really well and get a huge amount of acceleration at the last spurt. So on the shorter distances, this horse is going to be a lot better. Her speed bonus 14% is very helpful. 8% stamina, 8% guts is not going to be super helpful, but at least guts bonus helps you to hit your 400 guts requirement for some of these CMs, because from now on we all need guts. Guts is a very important stat now, but you don't go all the way for guts. You go for 400 or 500 guts. Never ever go higher than that, because you will sacrifice your other important stats like power or wits. Alright. Other than that, she comes with curvature and Mystifying Murmur, so that means you can use her as a medium debuffer if you want to. Curvature is also a very, very solid skill if you want to go and get it, but honestly, stacking more white skills may be better. But on shorter distances, Stand is, well, not so required, so stacking it is not so important either. Just buy whatever you got. Alright, it's not bad. This horse definitely has its time to shine in the shorter CMs, but you will have to really grind her because she has a G on short and G on mild. Alright, after that we have the Rice Shower Halloween. Rice Shower Halloween has 15% stam, 50% power, and is meant for medium, long, and pace. This horse is actually a bit worse than the... Sorry, not a bit worse, a lot worse than the actual Rice Shower. The actual Rice Shower can win a lot better than this horse over here. So if you are a Rice Shower enjoyer, this horse is not really it for you, sadly. This horse is more of a debuffer spam kind of horse. If you look at her unique, she does a stamina drain on all the horses. It counts as a goal recovery, and it also gives you a little bit of 0.25 speed. Right? If you scroll down, you also see she has Calm and Collected, and she has Tantalizing Trick as well as Hesitant Front Runners. So she has a lot of debuffs, and the Tantalizing Trick, it looks awesome, but no, it's actually a Trick Front Golden, which means that only when horses are rushed, then they will burn even more stamina, which means it's not as versatile as something like Mystifying Murmur, where as long as you get blocked, you bam, shoot everyone in front of you, no range limit, you just shoot everyone, boom. Alright, but this one is only when they're rushed. If they're not rushed, then you would not actually trigger this skill at all, so it's not really very, very important. So this horse is mainly debuffer focus and has a lot of stamina recovery inside of her, so she can be used still for the longer CMs. It's just that it's not very amazing. I would say the regular Rice Shower is better because she has more access to important speed skills and stuff that actually help a horse to win. But this horse, if you look at her more deeply in terms of skills from events, right, it's a lot of greens, a lot of blues, and a lot of reds. There's very little yellows. The only yellow she has is long straightaways. So that means that she's very, very recovery and debuff focus. And unfortunately, this horse is actually, in my opinion, worse than the regular Rice Shower for trying to win. Alright, but if you want to use her as a debuffer, she has some skills inside of her, so you can go and stack the skills a little bit easier on her if you wanted to. But ultimately, if you want to use a debuffer, I think Super Creek is better because she has Mystifying Murmur inside of her, which is a very significant skill for debuffing stamina. Alright, so now you can use Wedding Mihono, Super Creek, and Nice Nature if you want to just boom everyone in the lobby with Mystifying Murmur. Take note, our wits is now a lot higher in our Haru, so if you want to go for those weird strats of I just want to make sure everyone loses in my lobby and make sure everyone dies from stamina loss, that is something you can do, like legitimately. Alright, but I don't think a lot of people will do it. I think people prefer making their horses win rather than making their horses lose and purposely just make everyone else lose. Alright, okay, anyway, moving on, we got Tamamo Cross. Tamamo Cross is a power card. So let me explain stamina and power cards. From now on, right, Power cards are going to be very rare. We are not going to use them as much as possible because Wits cards are just better for the Aharu scenario. Wits cards are good for the make a new track scenario, and Wits cards are good in the Grand Life scenario because Wits cards help you to get skills. Usually, a lot of the good skills in this game tend to be on Wits cards. Power cards, they do put some good skills on them sometimes, but would you rather click a Wits card or a power card? Wits cards gives you energy, power card takes away energy. So most of the time, people would lean towards Wits cards for a lot of their gameplay. Power cards, they're not really that important until much later on in the game when they release very powerful power cards that people are basically must pull, right? Like Nishino Flower, that's one of the most significant power cards in the future, right? The SSR version, that one gives you insane amounts of stats. That's why it's must use. Until then, we are basically not using power cards as much as possible. What we do for short CMs is we inherit stamina, we pump up the wit as much as possible, and then we hit the speed button as much as possible, and we find a horse with good power bonus. So you inherit stamina to a certain level, you use Rico if you need to, and then after that, you inherit the rest full power. That's how you get your power from now on. Alright, that's the Aharu way. After that, when you go to make a new track, how do you get your power? You just train Guts build, or you just go and click on the race bonus. That's it, right? You can just buy your power straight up. Just click the speed, activate the power gauntlets, and then after that, get a bunch of training bonus for your power bonus. And that's how you can get a lot of extra stat lines for power. So in general, power is never a card that we really need for a while. Alright, so Tamamo Cross is not very amazing later on, I'm just telling you right now, but it is niche for right now. Alright, it is niche for right now. What it can do for those people who want to consider pulling this banner is that it gives you a good 65 specialty priority, it has a stamina bonus of 1, it gives you initial power of 30, and it has friendship bonus of 35. So it gives you quite a significant amount of stat lines on top of race bonus 10%. What this card does is that it has stamina bonus 1 on it, which means that if you combo this card with your Rice Shower power, with also stamina bonus on it, you could run 2 power cards with stamina bonus on them, giving you a bunch of stamina on top of Rico. So that means you get a bunch of stamina already, meaning that just stacking 2 power cards can basically max out your power and give you a bunch of stamina. And Rico also gives you a bunch of stamina, which means that if you're going for a long distance race and you need to get a lot of power and you still need to hit the stamina requirement, this is a viable deck. Because Rico gives you stam, the power cards, when you click them, it gives you stam, and then after that, you just need to go and inherit stamina. That's right, that's it. Congratulations, you have basically hit the stamina requirement just by using this kind of deck already. You can emulate this kind of deck also by using Hishiyama, SSR power card. But Hishiyama does not give you a golden skill, and this one gives you 15 million CC, which is a gold skill on an uphill, which is going to be quite nice for certain tracks. Right? It also gives you wet conditions if you choose to just purposely drop the event chain early on, which is also not too bad for certain tracks if you are a front runner enjoyer. Right? So this is a good card to get a guaranteed green, or a good card to get 50 million CC, and other than that, it really doesn't give you anything else of relevance. It can only give you medium corners or 1.5 mil CC. That's really it. Right? So that's pretty much this card over here. It's not really a amazing card, but it is a good enough stat stick that some luxury players might want to consider go and pull for this. Alright. After that, we have Zenno Rob Roy. Zenno Rob Roy is much better than the other one because this card gives you a very rare late surger goal recovery. Late surgers, they usually don't have goal recoveries inside of them, right? So having a way to get another goal recovery is going to be quite significant for the late surger enjoyers. Right, this card is also not bad as a skill monkey. It has a hint frequency of 40%, it has good friendship bonus of 30%, and it has training effectiveness of 10% also. So this card is actually quite solid. Specialty priority 50 also, yeah. So this card is really quite solid. Gives you nimble navigator, gives you prudent positioning, right, and gives you late surger or pace chaser savvy if you want a little bit more, and straightaway spurt also. Straightaway adept. Sorry, not spurt. Right. Then after that, for skills, you can get the lie in wait goal recovery for late surger. Very rare. It's very hard to find recoveries for late surgers that are not other gambling recoveries like breath of fresh air and whatnot. Then you can also get skill points from the event chain. You can also get right-handed or left-handed guaranteed from the event, which is very good. Alright. Other than that, you can also get a bit of energy and a bit of stamina and wit, and this card is just a very solid card for luxury players. Right? If you just want another speed card, honestly, this one is good for the late surgers especially, right? You can get a lot of good bonuses from it. It has no race bonus on it, however, so do not expect to use this in Make a New Track. So these are for the luxury pullers, for those who want to make really insane horses right now, but they don't want to care about the usability of this card later on. Alright, that's why I'm explaining these cards to you. Now we go to the most important one. This is the most important one, which is Mihono Bourbon Wit. Everyone must get this card, and it's free. That's why everyone must get this card. Please do not cleat this, okay? Please do not cleat this. If you cleat this card, you are trolling. Because if you are ever going to do any front running, this card literally gives you golden early lead. And the reason why we love it when our Wits cards have the important goal skills is because the Wits cards at least gives you energy regen. So that means that if you have, like, let's say a power card that you're hunting the skill for, if you have the Wits card, you're getting energy, the power card consumes your energy. I'd rather click more than click less, Wits card better. End of story. Right? So this is the reason why Mihono Bourbon Wit is so decent. It's not a very good card because it's a free-to-play card, but it is very good at giving you this one skill here. So if your deck is strong and you can afford to go and hunt down for one skill, this skill is one that I would actually highly recommend, because 0.4 XL at the start can be the difference maker in fighting for the front in the opening leg of any CM, right? So you do groundwork with your several greens and then you get your golden early lead, and that is going to be a 0.4 plus 0.2 XL at the start. Very, very powerful opener. Alright, so this is very, very important for the front runner players for sure. Alright, very, very important. So please do keep this card in case you ever want to do front running later on. Later on, there will be other front runners like Kita-san Black and also Valentine Mihono Bourbon. Valentine Mihono Bourbon cannot use this card. So that might be something that people think, oh, I don't really need this card. But actually, if you're making for long CMs, you would use Kita-san Black instead. Kita-san Black plus this card, you get golden early lead. Very, very powerful combo, right? Then later on, if you go into dirt, you got Kopano Riki, you want golden early lead also. Frontrunner Kopano Riki can put this onto her also to give her more XL to fight the other Kopano Rikis in dirt, right? So frontrunner enjoyers, please take a careful look at this Mihono Bourbon and make sure you go and get it, right? And I think that is pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. If you need more information or more min-max, join the Discord, DM me on Ko-fi, or you can join me on my YouTube or Twitch live streams and ask me questions there. That's pretty much all I got. Thank you everyone for all of your support. I could not have gotten this far without all of you. Thank you very much, and I hope you have good luck on your banner pulls. Goodbye everyone.